Hello and welcome to episode 32 of On the Bench. On the Bench is the world's leading podcast for the hobby of scale model building. So if you build aircraft, ships, armour, cars, figures, or science fiction subjects, this is the podcast for you. On the Bench is a fortnightly podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, and all good podcast apps. Don't forget to mark us as your favourite so you never miss a show. And while you're there, leave a rating. That just helps other people find the show as well. If you want to get in contact with us, we'd love to hear from you. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. Firstly, you can send us an email at onthebench64@gmail.com. Alternatively, just pop in the words On the Bench into Facebook and that'll take you directly to our page. And now on with the show. And hello everybody and welcome to On the Bench, and we've got a full studio tonight. And first of all, g'day Julian.
Hello.
Ian.
G'day Dave, g'day listeners.
And special guest tonight, we have Troy.
G'day, how are you?
Good, thanks Troy. And you're here to talk later on about...
the silhouette portrait cutter.
Excellent. Rightio, so what have you guys been doing since the last one? We'll start with you, Ian.
Did a bit more fun with photo etch
Yeah.
on the Shimakaze
Yep.
until I had a tiny little set of ladders in my tweezers. I was about to glue them onto the front funnel.
Twing.
Twing! So I've, and then I discovered I had a bit of a leak in my thinners cabinet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but luckily it wasn't thinners, it was demineralised water, so I saved the carpet.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good.
So I had to pull everything out of the modelling room.
Yep.
To dry out the carpet.
How much did you have in there?
What?
To pull everything out. How big was the bottle?
It was a 5 litre
5 litres?
bottle, yeah.
Oh,
5 litre bottle, yeah.
Oh, jeez. And the whole lot went on the carpet? Oh,
no.
Yeah.
I'd say enough to make the carpet damp. And I think I caught it in time because there was no mould or anything, so I was quite happy.
Yep.
Unhappy about having to pull everything out of the modelling room. And now that I'm slowly putting them back in, I'm thinking about rearranging it. So
Well, that's the way to go, isn't it?
Always find that rainbow.
That's it, yeah, too true.
So what do you use the demineralised water for anyway?
I used that with, I can't remember what brand of paint it was, but I was told to use demineralised water and tried that out and then found out that methylated spirits works better, so it's just been sitting there in the cupboard next to all my
5 litres worth.
Yeah.
That's good for your car battery.
It is, yes, that's right.
And your iron, if you iron your clothes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Many uses.
Been purchasing anything?
I went to a swap and sell
Yeah.
last Sunday, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yep. Purchased a few kits. I pick up a Tamiya 48 scale Komatsu bulldozer, a Hasegawa 48 scale D3A1 HE Val.
Yep.
With the folding wings.
Lovely.
The nice one.
Very
with
nice.
The folding wings. A Nakajima KI 27 Nate.
Yep.
And a really good score I found was I picked up a Yankee Model Works 1:350 scale World War I German U-boat U-35.
Oh, that is awesome.
Really, I had a bit of a read up on that online on that, and that actually particular U-boat over its career sunk 224 ships.
Seriously, that many?
That many ships.
That is a huge amount of tonnage. Wow.
And the other kit I picked up was a trying to think what brand it is. If it says here, Fujimi, 1:350 scale Imperial Japanese Army, not Navy, but Army transport submarine.
Now, I remember reading something about it. I didn't wasn't. I remember reading about it, and I was surprised that the Japanese army actually had submarines.
Yeah, well, I think it was mainly because they kept losing all their transport troops on surface ships, so they decided that we'll try and sling them onto the islands using submarines.
Yep.
It's not a bad little kit. I've just got to learn how to read Japanese because I don't think there's much English in that at all in the instructions.
Now, it's an interesting kit because it comes not only with the 1/350 scale, but also...
Yeah, it also comes with a little tiny 1/700 scale kit as well.
And also it comes with...
Clear hull.
Yeah, so you got a choice of clear hull or...
I'm not going to do the clear hull.
Well, you can just spray it so you can build 2 submarines.
Yeah, I could.
But then
If I was crazy enough.
And just scratch build a second conning tower or something.
Yeah.
Do a Rex one.
Do a wreck one on the beach, yeah.
Well,
That's a good idea,
very
Troy.
small diorama that would
it'd
be.
very because it's not a big submarine. So yeah, that and purchased online all my detail sets for the Shokaku aircraft carrier.
Oh, lovely. How much did that set you back, though?
A lot of hundreds of dollars.
So you put that together. Was it more than the actual kit itself?
Oh yeah, about 3.5 times more than what I paid for the kit.
Oh, my goodness.
Ain't that the way?
Yep. So that's the problem. When you start building, as Dave, you should know, as you buy ship kits,
Yeah.
the actual purchasing of the ship is the cheap part.
Yes, it is. It's all the photo etch stuff that costs a huge amount of money.
Wooden
Anyway.
decks and all that. Yep.
Yeah, because a common thing I hear a lot of people say is, I don't want to spend more on aftermarket than the kit.
Yeah, good luck
But
with
those
that.
are people who build aircraft and
exactly.
tanks and...
Yeah.
Just buy windscreen masks and that's it.
Yeah.
That's your goal.
True. Too true.
Might just get you to move your microphone a bit closer there, Troy, because I haven't...
Yep. No
That's
worries.
better. Now we can hear you.
No drama.
All right, Julian, what have you been up to?
Not too much, actually. So I'm at our model club. We have a big pile of old magazines, and in them I found an old 1997 copy of Air Power, where it was
Good old Air Power magazine.
yeah, it was like someone at the model club says, "Oh, you're building a Helldiver. Why don't you have a look at this?" And like it's nothing. Like the entire magazine is nothing but Helldivers.
Oh, wow.
And it's got color photos of them, and you can. I've already looked through the internet. I've done my Google foo, and
Yep.
I've seen all the photos there are to see, and these are not on the internet. So
Not like from Life magazine, because they used to do color photos and everything, and they took some awesome photos.
well, the whole magazine isn't color. There's a few color pages in the center, but there's plenty of photos of late ones, earlier ones.
A lot of trouble, though, with those World War II colour photographs is that the colour saturation is not necessarily 100%. So you get sort of odd sort of colour sort of matches there coming out. So
yeah. Well, there's a color photo here of the prototype, right? And that has got the yellow wings that look more orange there.
the wings do look orange there.
Yeah. Not that I would build that.
No.
Because that's one of the ones that crashed because it was terrible. One of the many. But yeah, it's an alright magazine. Apart from that, I've been building a T-12 Russian tank.
Ooh.
Right? That's very, very, very early.
Yep.
And one thing that I was a bit curious about is that it's got a hole. It's got a hole in the front of it.
What do you mean it's got a hole?
It's got a hole, like right in the front, where where the cover of the hull goes over the transmission.
Yep.
There's a hole, like a hole big enough to put your arm through.
What's the hole for?
I don't know. And it's in all the photos. It's got a hole, and I don't know what it's for. I mean,
For the crank start.
I don't know. You wouldn't need a hole.
holes.
You wouldn't need a hole that big for a crank start, I don't think.
Has the is the engine at the front or the rear?
I imagine it's in the rear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah, I know. It is strange.
More research required.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yep.
We want a full report.
Yes, that we do.
Well, what have I been doing? I've been bending the plastic and purchasing some more kits. So I decided to get I'm having so much fun building the US Destroyer World War II one. Oh, what one is it I'm building? The Dragon one.
The Benson.
The Benson, that's the one. Then I went and got the Tamaya Fletcher class. And also ended up getting the Tamaya... Let me reach down and see what one it is.
I believe it says Makuma.
Yeah, it might be the Mikuma. It is the Mikuma. It's a sister ship to the Megami. But it's interesting. I opened up both kits, and so the Japanese one is obviously made by their A team because it's just flawless.
Yeah, whereas the Fletcher...
And the Fletcher...
The Fletcher's a pretty old kit, though.
Oh, and it shows in the moulding. Oh, my God. I've got these huge sort of marks on the back of the stern. And this is back in the day. I don't know why they used to do this. Plastic model kit companies. The boot line has actually got a raised line along the hull to show you where the boot striping goes.
Where you've got to mask it.
Oh, God. Anyway, so I've got to go and scribe that off or,
That's easy. Bit of wet and dry
Bit of wet
sandpaper,
and dry,
Dave.
that's it.
No. I'm going to get those little chisels that I use and just...
No, you got to be careful, though, because you can gouge holes.
Oh, no, I'm pretty good with it now. I've got it down to a fine art. So... And, of course, got with the...
Famous last words from Dave.
And, of course, got all the normal stuff that you go and buy. Like you, and I went and bought all the photo etch stuff that goes with it as well. So there's an extra sort of one with a couple of zeros behind it and maybe a little bit more on top of that.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Anyway.
I still got to do that for what was that? The Saratoga, which I was lucky enough to get from all the guys in the model club for my birthday.
Yes.
The old Trumpy 1/350 scale Saratoga with all yellow winged aircraft.
Can we say what it was? What the birthday was?
Yeah, if you want.
Half a century.
Half a century, yes.
Still in?
It's still in. Luckily. Still there. Haven't got rid of me yet.
No. But I've still got to buy some paint, some Japanese paint. I've got the hull colour in Tamiya paint, but I need to get like the IJN Sasebo grey is what I need to get.
Is it Sasebo grey, that one?
Yeah.
You've checked it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You checked it for me, remember?
Oh,
no,
I
that
did
was
too.
during your birthday party, and I think you'd had a couple by then, so you don't remember.
Yeah, probably.
That was a good party.
Cannot
That
be
was
held
a-
accountable for what he says.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome party, I've got to say.
Yeah. Troy, what have you been up to?
I'm currently building a Trumpeter 135 CH47D.
Lovely.
Australian.
Chook.
A Chinook Chook.
Yep.
And researching my next build, which will probably be 132 Tomahawk in Desert Scheme. So I've just been buying paints for that.
Is that the Trumpeter Tomahawk?
No, I think it's Hasegawa.
Kitty Hawk? Or Tomahawk?
Could be the Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk. P40E.
Yep.
Has to go, yeah. I've got that kit. It's a nice kit.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I've been doing. Just heaps of research on that. But going by previous form, I'll finish the Chinook and go to start on that, and I'll have something totally different, saying build me now, and I'll build something else that I've done no research on. And
I've been following your build of the Chinook on your Facebook page. It's coming out really nice. Very
totally
impressed
agree.
with it. Yeah, great build, that.
Yeah, it's taken a while. Like people usually tell me that I build too fast or pretty fast, and this one, there's just always something else to keep me going, and I can spend a whole weekend in there and come out and go, what have I done? I've done that.
I reckon models build themselves at the pace that they demand to be built at.
They do.
That's a stupid statement, and it sounds odd, but when you think about it...
Until you're rushed at a deadline, then you got no choice.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're doing something for a magazine or something, you got deadlines to meet and all that, yeah, but I've never been that good a modeler that a magazine sort of come along and said, hey, Dave, can you build this for us?
Yeah.
But it'll happen.
Nah.
Some kits just fall together really quickly, and other kits, you might not see any progress, or you're doing a heap of work, and then suddenly everything comes together. And
that's exactly what I mean. The kits build themselves at the pace that they demand that you build them at. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
Or you could be like me and spend 2.5 years doing a little destroyer.
see, I couldn't do that. I couldn't spend that long building a kit. It'd drive me mad.
No, well, you'd die if you knew how. I think last episode I spoke about how many sort of kits I've got on the go at once, and we counted. I think we hit 9 or something like that. So it doesn't bother me though. I'm like that with books. I'll have 2 or 3 books that I'm reading at the same time.
I couldn't do that. I'll get confused.
Nah.
I have a rule for myself that I have no more than 3 kits going at once.
Yeah.
And I usually try and keep that to 2. At the moment, I've only got 1 if I don't count one of the Shelf of Doom ones, which I'm not.
So that's a really interesting thing, right? Because in the past, I've started like up to maybe 7, maybe even close to 10 kits, right? Because I sort of get to like one point and then I go, oh, well, that part's the same color as the interior on this thing, so I'll get this one up to that point. Then I can spray them both at once, right? And then you end up doing this same logic for numerous things, and before you know it, you've got 10 of these things that are all sort of between 40 and 60% done.
Well, see, I've done that too. Like I've done 2 Meteors at the same time. I've done 2 Mirages at the same time, just because the assembly's the same and it's the same kit. So
Economy of scale.
yeah,
Yep.
and you can make mistakes on one and figure out how to do it properly on the other one.
That's true.
Yeah, the closest I got to that was I did 4 Focke-Wulf 190s
Oh, geez. At the same time.
at the same time because I
Wow.
wanted to, excuse me, I wanted to do all the ones with the Tetzel worms on the nose.
Yep.
And there was 4 different coloured Tetzel worms, so I picked out 4 different schemes and boom, boom, boom. Had a little mini production line going.
But it works well, doesn't it?
Well, it's all the same sort of aircraft.
Yeah.
The only difference was the camouflage schemes
Yep.
and the decals.
Yep. Great way of building.
Yeah.
I usually try and do one out of the box and one with all the aftermarket I could get for it too. So there'll be slightly different builds in that way.
Yes.
So
So that works out well for competition,
yeah,
right? Because then you can put one in each of the categories, one for out of box and one for modified.
although all the categories I seem to enter these days are open, I just go, come on, man. I'm 32. How can you have only open?
Exactly.
So that's a good argument to just go balls to the wall all the time, right? Just throw all the aftermarket you can at it.
Yeah.
That way, someone else is going to be looking at your model and going, oh, he's put that thing in and I wish I had. And
But that could be a handicap as well. Like I know some people who can, no aftermarket at all, but scratch build everything they need, and it looks absolutely brilliant. And then someone comes along and they've just built out of the box and it looks spot on, and you just go, yeah, why did you spend all that money?
So you can't build ships out of the box,
No.
I reckon. It's
Apart from the showcase models Collins class submarine, you can
Yeah,
build it one
yes,
out of the
good
box
point.
in an afternoon.
yes, good
Yes.
point. All right. Well, then technically a submarine's on a ship. So
It's a boom.
I still maintain you can't build a ship out of the box because it just demands to have, rigging put on it
And rails.
rails and photo etch.
what if it's in 35th scale?
Oh, yeah, I did that, yeah.
What?
Oh, no, 72nd.
With the larger scales, you don't need to worry about
I didn't have to
aftermarket
worry
as
about
much.
it, yeah. I didn't put any
You see,
aftermarket.
but your larger scales are technically not going to be ships; they're going to be boats.
I did a
You got the technicality on that one.
Yes,
You
I
can put a
do.
boat on a ship, but you can't put a ship on a boat.
Yes, right. All right. All right, guys, so let's have a look at what's new in the modelling world. So we'll be back very shortly. And we're back to have a look at what's new in the modelling world. And first cab off the rank is something that Ian pointed out to me on Facebook today. Wingsy kits. I've never heard of these guys.
Yeah, they're pretty new, but their quality, from what I've heard, their quality is phenomenal.
So they've got some pictures up on their website, which is www.wingskits. That's WINGSYKITS.com. Wingsy Kits, and they've got a KI-51 Sonia, and they're just showing the pre-production CAD drawings of it, and this is going to be in 1/48 scale.
Because previously the only one you could get, if you can ever get your hands on it, was the Nichimo.
Well, the CAD drawings certainly look...
Oh, it looks stunning.
it looks very attractive, doesn't it? And I'll be really keen to have a look at what this kit is going to be like when it sort of comes out in the flesh. Ian, you're going to be getting one of these, no doubt?
I will consider it, yeah.
They also do the Type 96 carrier-based fighter, which was the low mono wing with the open cockpit.
Yeah, the 85M Claude.
Correct. Also did another version of the Claude.
I think the difference is like different closed and open cockpits or something like that.
No, they're both open cockpits, so I don't know what the difference there is.
Probably decals.
One is a seatbelt.
Yeah, possibly.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm really keen. They're calling that a new release as well. They are indeed. So their Claude Fighter is a new release as well, which is going to be
Well, it's
coming
been
out
out for a
soon.
little while, but from what I've
the
seen built,
website's
what I've seen,
saying it's still new
Yeah.
release.
yeah, well, I've seen a few built and they're really stunning.
Well, so this one came out not too long ago, but also Fine Mold released one, and this is supposed to be the better of the two.
Oh, okay.
Although I believe, like at least for us Australians, I believe it's more expensive.
No idea where you can purchase them, so you just have to do a bit of a search. And you can purchase them directly from the company by the looks of it, because they've got an account there that you can dive into and open up. So more news about that as it comes to hand. So next, Italeri. Italeri are doing a new kit, brand spanking new one, of a Soviet T-34/85 in 1/35th scale.
They're becoming like the Messerschmitt 109 of tanks, aren't they?
It is almost, yeah. They're saying this is a completely new tool, and they're promised the highest level of quality and details. And it's also going to have an interior details for the turret and the driver compartment, as well as the transmission compartment as well. So all I've got is some CAD drawings to look at, and it looks pretty schmick, as a matter of fact. And with the interior detail, if it comes out as good as the CAD drawings, it should be a bit of a winner there. So we can only wait to hear more news about that into the future. Masterbox kits for September, October 2018. They've got a few new releases coming out. Now let's go get my glasses off so I can have a look at what they're saying they've got. So... actually, I think this is one that we looked at before.
It was, yeah, the sci-fi figures.
The sci-fi figures set in the bar scene where you got, I don't know what you call them, sci-fi figures. It's not quite sure. Yeah, sci-fi figures.
sci-fi.
Yep. So that should appeal to that market. Just also they got these are the new ones. They're doing a Tiberius TIE Constellation Hacking 3, which is a robot sort of sitting with that universe.
Actually, I don't think it's a robot. I think it's a guy in a
In armour.
military armour.
This is the fifth kit in a new series, At the Edge of the Universe, Strange Company's Adventures, and is part of the story told with the help of our figures about how different characters accidentally meet in a bar of the peripheral space station and become a cohesive team, later known as Strange Company. Yep, it may well be somebody in a suit there, but gee, it looks like it's going to be quite nice once it's sort of built up.
It's a nice
and
gun.
sculpted.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Rightio. Hasegawa have got their announced their releases for August, September 2018. And the first one they have is in 1/72nd scale. It is a Japanese Navy bomber, and that is a what, guys?
A
Francis
Francis
a
type.
Ginga.
Yeah,
Which
Francis
I'd
type
love to
2.
see in 48 scale.
Yeah.
No one does one.
Oh, that's interesting. So, estimated number of parts is 86. The length's going to be about 220 millimeters, and the wingspan's 278 millimeters. So, I'm wondering if that's a reboxing of one they've done in the past.
Then they'd have an actual part number count, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah,
If they built it
you're
in the
possibly
past.
quite right there,
Yep.
Troy. Although, having said that, the next one from Hasegawa is the UH-60J of the Japanese Self-Defense Force, and it's in 1/72nd scale also. Helicopter, and they're saying estimated number of parts 109. Now, I'm pretty sure they've already done one of these helicopters in
they have.
1/72nd scale before, so... this is just repackaged, I think, with some new decals.
which is what Hasegawa's famous for.
Yeah, because the memorial... What's the reading on the side of that there? 58th Memorial something or other. Airbase Amura. Okay, so it's an anniversary decals. Next one in 1/24th scale is we have limited edition Toyota Celica Turbo 4-wheel drive 1993 rally car. I used to love the Celicas when I was a young'un.
Well, someone had to.
And the Castrol schemes always looks mint.
I reckon they
On
were
whatever
a
car
hot
they were
car. They were a hot car.
If you say so, Dave.
I do say so. Always lusted after Celica, but never ended up purchasing or buying one, but never mind.
You can't hate on anything that has pop-up headlights.
Very true. And I used to, this is slightly off topic, I used to own a Ford Capri, as a matter of fact.
Did you ever have a decent car?
I do now. I have a Renault at the moment. This is a very nice car. A Renault Megane, and I love it. All right, so, Toyota Celica Turbo for the 1993 rally, and it comes in the decals for that, for the car builders out there.
In 1/24 scale.
What did I say? I said 1/24 scale.
Did you?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
Oh, you're second guessing me again now. Okay, next in 1/72nd scale is the F-35 Lightning, the Type A. And this is a reboxing once again because Hasegawa have already put this out. Estimated number of parts is 68, they're saying here. And
Has that thing got grey Hinamaroos?
yes.
Interesting.
Now, I think Japan's actually building the bulk of their fighters over actually.
They
in the
do.
Mitsubishi
They've got
factories.
any aircraft
Yeah.
with a J on it means it's home built.
Yeah. So interesting that Japan went down that track. I'm just wondering whether our country should have. Anyway, let's step across that minefield. Next off, we have the Egg Girl Collection number 4, the Mikumo Shirinagi.
Comes with a Zero fighter.
It does. It comes with an Eggplane Zero fighter, and it's like Japanese.
Julian, what's the word for it?
Kimono.
It's a girl.
I was going to say geisha.
Geisha, yeah.
No,
Geisha.
she's just a girl in a kimono. That's all. It is.
Okay. In 1/20th scale, I'm sure that's going to appeal to
Someone.
the home market in Japan.
There's a whole bunch of them.
As a
They've got one with a P40.
the next one is a limited edition
Where's the P40?
Egg Girl Collection number 3, Amy McDonald, actually. It's a Eggplane P40 Warhawk with a scantily clad
Bikini girl
standing next to it. Again in 1/20th scale. And
So basically, they're just boxing their eggplanes with figures.
Yeah.
yeah, it'll appeal to the home market in Japan
Yes.
and maybe some limited sort of markets elsewhere around the world. Next, limited edition Playsure Racing Mazda 767B 1/24th scale. I'm pretty sure this was used in the
Le Mans.
It looks Le Mans.
Le Mans. And
I love the Le Mans Mazdas.
do you really?
Yeah, they're really nice.
Well, this one's interesting because it's very sort of hot pink, or you'd even call it day-glow pink, wouldn't
It's
you?
even got a Hasegawa sticker on the side.
Yep.
So, looking like that, I wonder if it comes with a driver as well. It's going to be or not. I can't really tell. Parts count is 80, so it should be a fairly simple build. I think your biggest struggle is going to be getting that pink paint down. Make it
I
look
reckon
nice.
the biggest trouble's going to be dealing with the Hasegawa decals.
And that's it from Hasegawa. Last but not least, I was looking, and I haven't got it to hand, but Mr. Hobby, or Mr. Colour, they're putting out a new range, or they got a new glue out, modelling glue. So, everybody's familiar with the Tamiya Extra Thin Glue. This is very similar, except the glue's actually black. And the theory
I like
behind
that
it,
idea.
the theory behind it is so when you're wicking the glue into the seam, you can see where it hasn't gone, so you know where you haven't got a good bonding.
Yep.
I reckon that's a brilliant idea. So I just wish I could have found it before we sort of went to air as to what it's actually called. It comes in a glass jar, very similar to the Tamiya Extra Thin, and it just looks like it's
Well, it might be called Mr. Black Glue because
Yeah.
they generally put Mr. in front of everything, and
yeah.
it usually has a pretty self-explanatory title.
yeah, no, that's exactly right. It is called Mr. Black Glue. So
Is it?
it is.
Oh, there you go.
You're not joking.
No, I'm not. It's cool. Wow. And just a second, I'm just bringing up the their Facebook page now, and hopefully I should be able to find it.
Okay.
No, I'm not
No, he's not
finding
going to
it.
find it.
So
Oh, here we go. Got it. It is called... Wait for the page to load. Drum roll. Thanks, Ian. It is called Mr. Cement SPB.
okay.
It comes with in a glass jar,
like your
very
name better,
similar,
Julian.
Yeah, I know. I was so
very
close.
similar to Tamaya Extra Thin.
Actually comes in the same sort of container as their
Decal softeners and
decal
things.
softeners.
Yep.
Yep.
Same sort of applicator or slightly different applicator to the Tamaya. But you can see from the pictures that I've had a look at, it just leaves a black sort of line where the glue's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually see where it hasn't sort of melded.
But has it got what Tamaya's got in the telescopic?
Look,
The biggest news in modelling in 2 years.
Yeah.
you have to wonder how useful that is because nobody knew about it and we all made do over all those years.
Yep.
Well, that's
So
true.
it can't be that
Yeah, you guess
useful.
you get to the bottom and you got to shake the hell out of the bottle just to get a bit of glue on the brush.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, same here. And now I just get the tweezers, stretch it out a little bit. Perfect.
Well, that's all I got. That's all I've got for what's new. You guys got anything at all?
Yeah,
Yo, okay.
I do. Yes, I found a whole typical Murphy's Law. After doing all that work, converting those figures for my first Australian Light Car Patrol,
Yes.
the Aussie 3 Australian crewmen and the Arab Shepherd pointing,
Yep.
Yep.
Evolution Miniatures have just releasing, I think, next month, a crew for Australian Model T Fords
Oh, seriously?
with a pointing Arab Shepherd.
Oh, it's exactly what you built.
Exactly. Well, not exactly, but
Very
yeah.
close.
Very close.
Pretty close. They're different. They're in different poses.
So we're going to call it inspired by?
Yeah, you could say maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe.
But just typical.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. Yes. But no, they're and Evolution Miniatures are very nice figures. Very nice figures.
When's that due at?
I think next month.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
All right. Keep it right. You're going to get a set and...
What for?
Well, I'm going to say you can replicate what you've already done.
Nah.
Do an alternate reality.
An
version.
alternate. Just do another kit. Just buy another Model T and another detail set and just do a second one.
All right. That's it for what's new in the modelling world. Next, we'll have a quick look at some listeners' hobby ideas.
Yeah, good idea.
Hobby tips. So
Yes.
coming right back shortly. And we're back to have a look at some tips. And the first one we've got, well, actually, we've got a few actually, is from James Black, who is one of our Patreons or Patreoners.
Sponsor.
That'll do. He contributes to Patreon. Thank you very much, James. So James writes, in regards to paint, forget about milk consistency when it comes to thinning Tamiya acrylics.
I agree.
When you get a brand new jar of Tamiya acrylic, pour the X20A Tamiya thinner to the top of the jar until it's about 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch from the very top. Now, it is ready to airbrush without needing any more mixing or thinning.
Yeah, that's fine, except if you don't want to use the whole jar.
Well, I wouldn't brush on Tamiya acrylics anyway.
Yeah,
What do you mean he's brushing? He means airbrushing.
airbrushing.
So it's ready to
Because
airbrush
I was
now.
told that when I first started, just fill up the jar,
Really? I've
Yeah.
never heard this.
and I did it for the first couple, and I've still got jars which have got a T. I've written T on the top saying pre-thinned, and I just go, why did I do that?
No, I've done the Aquabus colours. And
Accurates.
yes.
The Guns.
Yeah. And
Mr. Hobby, yeah.
you do exactly the same. You get their thinner, and you just fill it to the top, about 3 mils from the top, and it's ready to go. And it just stays in there forever and ever and ever.
Because if you don't use it for hand brushing, yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah, it's perfect for airbrushing all the time.
That's a good idea.
And
But how do you find it lasts shelf-wise?
well, it's still sitting up there now. It's been about 3 years and still perfect.
Well, the best way to have it last shelf-wise is before you put your paint away, screw the lid up, turn it upside down. Leave it upside down for about 5 minutes, pop it back the same way, and what that does is that leaves a little bit of paint
Oh, to seal it. Yeah.
to seal it, and it seals it. It's airtight seal.
Or another thing you could do is you get some what's that gel stuff called?
Gel.
Vaseline. And you just run that around the
yeah,
edge.
I'm not keen on using
And that
Vaseline
way-
around paint.
Yeah, it's-
No,
You run the risk of getting fish eyes.
contaminant.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you could.
Well, if you're only
if
going
you
the whole
pour it
hog,
out.
buy yourself a bar fridge.
Store your paint the
Put
bar
all your
fridge.
paints in a bar fridge.
Actually, I saw a bar fridge go for about 160
Well, there you go. You should have bought it.
bucks the other day.
So get a bar fridge. Put all your paints in the bar fridge, and your glues.
And me glues, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Ian, you've got me onto something here. I might go and buy one.
$400 gone.
James also goes on to say, and he suggested what you said, Troy, mark the top of the jar so you know you've already got thinners in
It's
there.
pre-thinned, yep.
But, you know, even after a while, if it's been sitting there for a few years and it's starting to sort of, you know, dry out a bit, just put more thinners in anyway. So it's not a huge issue.
Well, the first thing that's going to evaporate is the thinning agent anyway. You're not going to...
Yeah.
So all you do is just re-top it up.
Yeah. I like the idea of turning them upside down. That's not a bad idea.
While we're on the topic of putting labels on the top of the jars, I really hate how they got the logos molded into the top of them. I wish it was just a flat top
on the Mr.
jar.
Colours, yeah. Because it's hard to... Because you put your little... I always put like little stickers on the tops.
And they
No.
So I know
peel
what
off.
colour is what, and they always just fall off after a while.
And I put stickers on because the stickers fall off after a while.
Yeah.
And so you don't know. So
Just super glue them on.
There's an idea.
Tamiya tape. Right on the Tamiya tape.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh.
All you need is just like sheet plastic and a punch and just knock them out, or then just super glue that right on top.
That's an idea.
Next idea from James is that he's asking if anyone has contact lenses, ask them for their spare contact lenses cases and the lens fluid bottles. They're great for mixing paints or for mixing pigments in. And sometimes the bottles actually have removable nozzles, so the empty ones are great for refilling with airbrush cleaner. I don't know anybody who wears contacts.
No, me neither.
I don't.
I wear reading glasses, but I'd never... The thought of putting something on my eyeball, oh, man.
Yeah, can't even touch it.
Oh, no.
That's it, Dave's gone.
No way. It doesn't work. Last suggestion from James is CNC machine tool cases. Most new CNC machine tools come in either a 2-part plastic sleeve jar or extreme cases come in a small wooden box. So the plastic sleeves are great for separating and storing different types of paint brushes. The jars are great for storing your scenery materials or completed sub-assemblies in. The wooden cases, if you're lucky enough to get one of them, are great for storing completed models in for transport or storing your extra tools when not needed.
Good idea.
But it helps if you know somebody, obviously, who's
An engineer.
engineering background or works with CNC machines.
Yes.
All right, that's it from Modelling Tips. Back shortly with our keynote guest, Troy. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. And this segment, we've got Troy in. G'day, Troy.
G'day.
And Troy's going to be talking about stencil cutting and your little machine that you use and everything to do with stencil cutting.
Yeah, that's right. I got fed up with not being able to find the decals for the exact plane that I wanted to build. So looking around, I was noticing different people had were able to make their own stencils. Eric Gellers in Queensland got me onto the Silhouette range of portrait cutters, and I've never looked back.
So is it a portrait cutter is the actual trade name? Or
Silhouette's a trade name.
Right.
Portrait, I don't know. It's for hobby enthusiasts, to cut out, the old style portrait where the shadow portraits that they used to do.
Yeah.
Silhouette portraits.
Silhouette portraits.
Yep.
I think that's where it come from.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah.
And you think Cricket's the name of a brand name of another one that's similar?
Yep.
And you just put your paper in it. So step us through the whole... Explain the machine first of all and what it looks like.
So
and
it's basically like one of your old printers.
Yep.
Except instead of the printing head going back and forth, it's got a cutting head. And the paper, or whatever you're cutting on my one, you mount that onto a plate and it goes back and forth. So back and forth with on one plane for one dimension, and then the cutting head goes across the other, and it can cut out complex shapes. The one I've got does 8.5 by 6 inches, but you can get a bigger one, which is 12 inches by 6.5. which is more than enough for most things that I do on the models.
Mm.
And then there's the longer ones that can do up to 10 feet by 12 inches. But yeah, I don't know why I need that unless I was doing a 1-to-1. Yeah, I was doing my car. Yeah. So, but you can import a photo into the software.
Yep.
So you find the lettering that you want, because you know how you can't find fonts for everything that you want. So take the photo and then you can trace over it, or use shapes to reproduce the shapes and manipulate it to get the angles right and measurements right. And then once done, you can scale it, because it's you can select box square, select it, and resize it to whatever size you want. So if you take your measurements and you do your calculations, you go, okay, to be a 1/48 scale, that needs to be 20 mils across. Cool. Do it, and it automatically shrinks it down. You plug your computer into the printer and hit send, and it starts printing out straight away.
So what's the program you use to sort of get the stuff, the drawings and everything all sort of measured up?
Yep. It comes with the program, but you can download it from the website itself.
Okay.
It's called Silhouette Studio.
Yep.
And yeah, it's pretty user friendly, but the more you play with it, the more things you can discover that it can do.
Yep.
Eric's been a great help there. He's been using it longer than me, and is showing me different tricks to make it cut smoother and cleaner. And yeah, it's really easy to use. I mean, I used to use Photoshop in one of my past hobbies, and taking from that so much, and AutoCAD that I used to do for work. Yeah, I was able to, mix and match and go, oh yeah, I can figure out how to do that, and get your radiuses right. And so
for a dummy like me, it'd be fairly easy to sort of start up and run with it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And for a few years, we've been trying to get a website together so we can all share designs. But I mean, they're easy enough to email to each other. If someone's done a great set of Mirage stencils, you can get a copy of them and then cut them yourself. So I'm pretty happy that I've kept all the masks, the Edward masks over the years, the sheets after you peel the decals off.
Yes.
So what I can do now, don't tell anyone, is scan that and then make them. So if I do build another plane, I don't have to go and buy.
Oh, okay.
I can just cut them out again.
So they look a lot like Montex masks too.
Yep. Well, that's that paper that I've brought you in tonight. That's Aura Mask. So that's professional stuff that they use for screen sign writing and stuff like that. It's about $14 a metre. And yeah, it's great. You peel it off and it's clear, so you can see exactly where you're going to place it. Or it's smoky grey. You can see where you're going to place it on your model. You can move it a couple of times to get it right. If you've got intricate parts, you put a little bit of tape over it so you can hold them all together into the one location and then apply it. And I've
used Montex masks, and that looks no different.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. I mean,
the Montex is the black.
No. Montex is exactly like that.
Okay.
At least the ones I've used.
Okay, because I've done some and they were black and you couldn't see through them, which
that
makes it difficult.
Yeah, it makes it difficult when you're trying to get the location right. But yeah.
Do you find now that you're using that more and more often instead of using decals now for your aircraft that you're building?
Yeah. Like on my Mustang, I used it for the roundels, and when I did my Catalina flying boat, I used it for the registration markings and everything like that. But even things like my Chinook that I'm building at the moment, I wanted to mask all the aluminium hook plates on the deck of the cargo area.
Yep.
And I go, if I paint all them by hand, I'm A, going to go mad, and B, I'm going to stuff it up. So I measured up what I wanted, did it, reproduced it 50 times.
Yep.
Cut it out, and then it was just a matter of, okay, sprayed all aluminium, place the masks that I'd made over each of the spots, spray it black, bingo. It was done in, 10, 15 minutes from getting onto the MacBook to printing it and walking away cleaning the airbrush. So
because last episode we were talking about how spraying your insignia sort of lends better to weathering.
Absolutely, because you can.
And that's why we ended up. So we'll get Troy on. We knew that you had one and you use it quite a lot.
Yep.
So we thought we'd get you on to have a talk about that. And Yeah, it just seems to me the easiest way to go.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. I mean, you can, if you get your decals and you go, I reckon that's too big or that's too small, you go, you know what, I'll use that as a basis for my measurements. And, just make them up, resize them, go, yeah, it's not quite right, get it, do it, put it on. So you're not doing any damage to your model, figuring out, because, I mean, a couple of times I've put decals on and I go, that's not right. And then you're getting your Tamiya tape and you're trying to pull the decal off.
Yeah.
And because you've used decal setting solution, it's damaged the paint underneath, and just go, nah. This way I can get it perfectly lined up beforehand, move it around. You got to watch with panel lines, of course, that you're not going to get bleeding underneath. But depending on what medium, like the Aura masks that I brought in tonight, that's the only problem with that you can get bleeding in the panel lines because you can't buff it down with a toothpick as much.
Yeah.
But I've used the Tamiya paper mask sheets that you can get as well, and they're great. They buff right in.
Oh, so you can do it on like a Tamiya sort of
you can do
tape
anything.
type thing.
Yep.
Kabuki tape.
Kabuki tape, yeah.
Right.
I mean, and the cutter I've got, it can cut cardboard, it can etch glass, it can emboss anything as well. So it's got a pretty deep 20 mil deck on it, where some of the more expensive models can only do the cutting. So yeah, there's so many things that I still think of doing. Again, on the Chinook, I wanted to put blankets on the front bulkhead, and how they've got the quilted blankets with the crosses.
Yep.
Okay, if I get a ruler and sit there and go, scribe, it's going to be a pain in the bum. So I got a bit of evergreen sheet, put that on the tray. Spent 10 minutes on the program and just did hash lines.
Yep.
Stuck it in 5 minutes later, and then I pulled it out, cut it to shape. There you are. There's your perfectly cut blankets.
Great idea.
And so every time I use it, I'm finding a new way of
using it. Yep.
And so, and if I could stick bigger things in, like a panel, I could do me panel lines, but not quite there for that.
Yeah. So is it expensive setup?
I was lucky. I got mine when it was first released, and it was on sale for $250.
That's Australian dollars.
Australian dollars. Now I had a look today to see what they're going for, and that one is $360. So, I mean, it's not as bad as some aftermarket that you could use that you could buy.
Yeah, true.
So,
how much does a sheet of decal set you back these days if you had to buy them? I mean,
usually roughly around 20 Australian, roughly average.
Anywhere between 10 and 30. Yeah.
But the beauty about this is that, as Troy was saying, you just load the picture in, and you've done that with your F-35, didn't you? The Australian version, because it's got the eagle with the bomb in its talons for the F-35s that Australia's purchased.
Yep, I wanted it for my wanted it for my F-18 that I did.
Yep.
And at that time, they just released photos of the first F-35 with it, and I go, ooh, I want that too for my car.
Yeah.
So again, I was able to print, get this photo, put it in, trace it out, because it will trace for you as well. It's not as clean. It gives you too many reference points.
Yep.
But you can go through and take them out. Printed it out or cut it out, stuck it on my car. It was great.
And the other good thing I was thinking as well is when you buy a decal sheet, you only usually buy a decal sheet to do one scheme.
Yeah.
So you're always going to have a leftover of decals you're never going to use. Whereas this way, you don't have to worry about buying a decal sheet.
That's right.
Yep. You only make what you need.
You make what you need.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, especially, I mean, the stencils and that you're always going to want, well, if you're pedantic like me and want all the stencils as well, but for the main ones.
Tell you what, that's going to be really handy for.
What's that?
When I finally get around to getting back into that Junkers was it that Junkers D1 or J1?
Oh yeah.
The wingnut wings, the corrugated. I reckon putting decals in that thing's going to be so much of a pain.
Yeah. And as we were sort of alluding to last week, I mean, the beauty about it is, so you've got your stencil for your roundel or whatever sort of decal you're doing. So you spray that on, and then you do your normal weathering sort of process on top of all that, without having to worry about doing it to a decal. You're actually doing it to paint, so it's going to look so much more natural and a part of it. And we all know, I mean, you read about people who've got decals with certain kits, and the decals are way too sort of thick, and that really stands out. Or you open the box where the decals have been destroyed, they've been sitting in there too long.
Too long, yeah.
Yep.
Or you've also seen
Silvering.
Yeah. You also see silvering's another good one. Yeah. You also see where people have put decals in the model and it's been sitting on the shelf for X amount of years, and the decal's sort of slowly disintegrating and destroying.
Yeah, I've had that with a couple of kits.
And with paint, that'll never happen.
Well, I can think of a few more.
Yeah.
For example, like some of the Hinamarus on Japanese aircraft land right over the top of the aileron actuator bump.
Ah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That's a pain in the ass,
Yes.
right? Another one is even if you are using the decals, I'd be inclined to paint the wing markings because of the wing's curved surface.
Yep.
It's always going to show up in the light, right?
Yep.
It's always the most visible, and
Yep.
so it's much better to paint that.
Well, one of the things I noticed when I did my Meteor was they've got underwing lights, so like a little headlight or navigation light on the centre of the wing where the roundel covered. And I go, if you put a decal on there, you got to go there with your hobby knife and cut a circle out and try and get it off without tearing the rest of it. I go, nah, put a mask on it, spray it, beautiful.
Yeah,
It was all done.
Wow.
Also, if you're going to do like something like those Russian jets that have been languishing in some, behind some building somewhere for the last 40 years,
In a boneyard.
right, and it's all faded, there's no decals that are going to give you that look.
Nah, you can
But
paint it
if you can paint it, you
exactly how you
mix
want
it
to.
up whatever colour you want.
Yep.
Yep. Very good
I
point.
like it.
Very good point.
So it looks like some of us are going to be spending some more money soon.
Well, how about you just buy one, and if I need something, I'll just come around and see you.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah, I've done this. Take it, print it out for me. I'll see you next week.
yeah, exactly.
But we're reaching a point where, you've got your 3D printer that you can have now in your little man cave. You've got the stencil cutter now. Hopefully soon we'll see that idea that you saw in about
what they use for the in the beauty industry, where it's like an airbrush.
Oh, that automatically mixes the colours.
Mixes the colours
Yeah.
and pumps it straight into your brush.
Yep. And if that thing comes to fruition, so is it actually available now, or is it?
Well, not for the hobby industry. It's I think it's done for the
Automotive,
nail polish and the
Yep.
women who do nails
Yeah.
in that industry.
So wouldn't that be awesome? You just program a color. You tell your computer, I want this color, and automatically sort of pre-mixes a paint for you. And
Well, basically,
You'd have no wastage.
The way I'd see it is you wouldn't be buying pots anymore. You'd go to Guns or to Maya and you'd download the app.
yeah,
And you go, I want that colour. And I'd see it being a lot more expensive than buying a bottle of paint. But you're going to have a colour that's never going to run out.
You'd still need to buy at least 3 or 4 colours. So
Exactly.
your
You're going to need
RPG
your
and
primary
your black.
colours. Yeah, exactly.
well, you
You're
need
gonna
you need your primary colors, and you need your black and your white, and that's all you need.
Yep.
Because everything else comes from primary colors, all
Exactly.
shades and everything.
Yep.
So
And just like in every printer on the face of the earth, the
Yeah.
black will run out first.
Yes.
Always.
well, actually, no, you wouldn't. It'd be the white that'd run out first, because that's your that's the sort of the base mix. You just add the primary colors of that, and then mix it.
Okay.
So, you go to any hardware store, and you get a tin of paint.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take it off I can guarantee you, every tin of paint you see on that shelf is nothing but white, 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 white. It's all the primary colours they mix into it. Maybe some tints would have to be, depending on what sort of things. But it's
Okay.
all just the primary colours they mix in.
Okay,
A
so
different
it's
sort of code.
it's white.
6 parts of red and 2 parts of blue and 1 part of, what's another primary colour? Yellow, to get a certain paint. And they add it to the white and just mix it up in those big mixing machines. And
Yep.
bingo.
Mm.
So there you go. So we've got your 3D printer, so you can print your model out.
All we
You've
need
got-
is a 3D scanner to go with the 3D printer. So you go, I really want that 132 F111 that they have not ever made. I'll buy the 148, I'll scan it, and then I'll print it out in 132. That'd be awesome.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yep.
Now we're talking. Wow.
You won't have the fun of gluing it all
I
together,
know,
though.
that's the only bit. Well, do it only scan as individual parts.
Yeah, but we've seen the 3D printing, and geez, it's still nowhere near what you
Yeah.
get from a.
You can, but
I
you
don't
have
know,
to
mate. Some of the
pay
stuff
top
I've
dollar.
got, some of the stuff I've got from Shapeways is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Has it got those little funny ridges on it? No, just smooth plastic.
It
Smooth resin.
depends what resin you go.
Resolution.
Yeah, resolution. Yeah.
And material.
You always go for the higher quality. Because I remember I bought a little dinosaur, a little compy. Basically, it's just designed to you can clip on the top of your computer screen. And this thing it's amazing. It's all hollow. It's light as a feather, and the detail in it is just incredible.
Wow.
A mate of mine just spent 132 hours printing out one of the new Stormtrooper helmets from one of the new Star Wars movies.
What, full size?
Full size.
Wow.
Whoa.
132 hours it took him. He's
That's
still got a lot. He's now
long
got a bit of preparation to do on it. Standing back and that, but yeah, amazing.
Oh yeah, because with the resolution, the higher the resolution goes, the longer it takes to print.
It takes. And it's got all the support frame that it's got to print out as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks amazing. I'm just going, oh man, what a time we live in.
Wait, so the support frame inside does
No, outside because
outside
because it starts with the bowl, so it starts printing
the bowl,
the center, but it's got to print around the edge as well to hold up the size.
Yeah. So you got to remove material from the outside, not the inside.
From the bottom. Yeah. From the
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I see how this works now.
Well, I can just see so many applications for that. And, this little sample you brought in with our On The Bench logo, I'm going to wonder where I'm going to spray or use that to sort of spray paint. I was thinking about building a model and having On The Bench logo on the side of it or something like that.
I think just every kit you build from now on, Dave, just in one little corner of the kit, just put the logo.
Do that, yeah.
Airbrush the logo.
Tell me the knives, do they get blunt? I mean, how often do you have to change the knives over, and how easy to get parts and all that sort of stuff?
Replacement parts are easy to get.
Yep.
I'm still on my first knife, and I've had that for about 2.5 years now. So.
Really?
Is it the kind of thing you could take out and then sharpen yourself?
No. And it's very sharp, so you don't even want to touch it. But, I mean, you unscrew the cap, and because it gets, obviously bits and pieces up under there, and that can affect the blade. So but you just blow it out, or get a paintbrush and brush the bits out. But yeah, you don't want to touch it; it's sharp. But yeah, it's an adjustable length blade, so yeah. I mean, I've got a spare one ready to go for if it needs it, but so far it's still cutting, as you can see, beautifully sharp and clean. And
after 2 years.
Gee,
that's amazing.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I consider how quickly I go through my scalpels and stuff when I'm using my models. Sometimes, within a day, it can be ruined. I've got to throw the blade away.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Could be the way we're using them too.
Well, it could be. In fact, I've got a friend, and she's a vet, and I get scalpel blades off her. She
hopefully new ones and not used.
Yes, new ones, of course. And she sort of dropped me a whole bundle. I'm getting very low now. I need to,
that red tinge, that was Fifi.
No, they just come with like dog or cat written on it or something.
Oh, dear.
They're so cheap. I buy them in bulk and just go, yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to buy, because I know people who sharpen them, and they go,
what?
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you want to sharpen
Well,
it?
save money here and there. I go, yeah, but dude, honestly.
that time could be better spent building.
I'm all for things that save on time.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Julian. I can't fathom somebody who'd want to go and resharpen the...
And usually, like the amount of money you save is so small compared to the amount of time you have to put in. Like the canopy masks, right? Which is very... you could do canopy masks with this thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So just sticking those on takes like a minute, right? Why on earth would you want to spend forever like cutting out little squares and
little
then
squares in the corners,
masking like the birdcage canopy on like a Stuka or something? No, I'm not doing that. I will pick certain kits around this dilemma.
I'm with you. I hear you 100%.
Right.
I hear 100%. And I reckon you're spot on.
I'd love to build quite a few fine molds 48 scale Japanese aircraft.
Yep.
But they've all got birdcage canopies, and Edward doesn't make masks for them. So it's like, nope, I'm not going near it.
Wow. But that just leads me to a question then, Troy. So when you're doing masks for a canopy, obviously when you do it, you're doing it flat on your screen. How do you then allow for the compounding, the curvature of it when you're sort of sticking it onto the subject?
Well, I haven't had to do too many canopies, but I use my vernier caliper to take my measurements.
Oh, we're getting technical now.
Well, Yeah, it's all right. It's just a cheap, nasty one from eBay. But yeah, just get in there and take the measurements and then put it in and trial and error. As I said, if it doesn't fit, you go, okay, where doesn't it fit? Oh, well, 5 minutes later, adjust it, print it, cut out a new one, stick it on, get it right.
Well,
the other way around.
I don't know how you do the corrugation, so that stuff. No.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But the other way around that too would be just get some Tamiya tape and put it over your canopy and just burnish it with a pencil, and then take it off, and there you go. You got your perfect size. Just measure that up.
Yeah, see, I used to do that method for a lot of things, and then I ended up running into trouble where basically the canopy frames were not defined enough for me to know where the corner was, you know?
Yep.
Always a pain.
Feel your pain, yes. Yeah.
Or the canopy's just a little bit different from the mask set, and you go, come on, man.
Yes, we've all been through that.
Oh, that's what I have to be the most frustrating thing on earth.
Yep.
Or when they give you the inside and outside masks, and you go, all right, and you look at it and you go, that doesn't line up on the inside. What's going on?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, they're just giving you 2 outside masks.
Or something like that. Oh, well, sometimes it's on the one sheet, but you just go, am I supposed to be doing something different?
Yeah, maybe you're supposed to put the inside ones on the outside, and vice versa.
Well, glad to hear it's not me, the only one who's struggling with these things sometimes.
See, I find this all very interesting because, I don't know if you remember from previous episode, I was talking about how I found a really nice scheme for my peat, and I've got some codes to do on the tail, and I would have to mask that myself. And I was considering just like sort of doing the pencil thing on paper and cutting it out, kind of thing. But
even if you do that, you're never going to get it's fine as what it sounds like the stencil cutter's going to get.
Yeah. But I mean, I just thought I could be careful. Well, I mean, theoretically it's possible, but I mean, I suppose it maybe something to look into.
Well, you got 2 choices. You can go and buy yourself a stencil cutter or roll up on Troy's front doorstep with a 6-pack of beer and say, oh, while I'm here.
My going rate is a 6-pack of Beam and Coke, thank you.
Well, there you go.
that might have to be the go.
Actually, wouldn't it be a bad idea for a model club? They could sort of just purchase one for everybody to use.
Yeah, or purchase one between 3 interested parties.
Yeah.
As he's looking at everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, the software is free. You can download that. So, if one of you's got it, not a problem.
Okay.
You do your own work.
There you go.
Very interesting.
I mean, the cheapest one is the silhouette portrait. That's $269 still. And, it's 8 inches by 10. Oh, that's the one that does 8 inches by 10 foot. So, but that's all it does is cut.
Yep.
But I mean, that's really not that bad considering how much you're going to save in the long run with your decals and your masks.
Oh,
and
definitely.
Everything else.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Cool.
Totally agree.
All right, we're hard up against the time now, so I think that's about it, guys.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
Geez, that went quick.
It did. That's the hour gone already. So unless you got anything else we want to drag it out for...
We can say whatever else for next one.
It sounds like a plan.
Yep.
I think next episode we're going to talk about... You wanted to talk about swap meets, didn't you?
Yeah, we'll talk about swap meets. We haven't talked about swap meets.
And I was thinking also next meeting we could talk about SIGs, special interest groups, and group builds.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't spoken about them yet. That'd be really cool.
Good idea.
Yeah. Troy, thank you very much for coming along to this episode.
Great.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
No worries at all. Ian, any words of wisdom for the listeners?
As I always say, keep on building.
Julian.
I don't have any words of wisdom like that.
The amount of feedback we get from people who say, "Oh, you're such a laugh."
He's so upbeat, isn't he?
He's our own Corbin Dallas.
Oh, he is. Corbin Dallas. All right, guys.
I am a beat popsicle.
Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in a fortnight. Oh, one more thing before we go. I'm a big supporter of supporting our hobby in all shapes, forms, whether it be model clubs, retailers, manufacturers, small backyard manufacturers, even down to the builder. With that in mind, I'd just like to really plug a new podcast that's come up for model builders. It's called the Scale Model Podcast. You can find it by going to www.scalemodelpodcast.com. It's run by Stuart Clark. G'day, Stuart. And comes from Canada, I believe. So once you slide across there and give that podcast a try, and also support them as well. Thanks very much, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to that episode. If you'd like to continue to support us, please consider becoming a patron of the show. Just go to www.patreon.com/onthebench and consider just $1 a month as a starting donation. Some of the benefits of being a patron is that after we've reviewed a kit or glue or paint, all of our Patreon members' names go into a hat with the chance of actually winning that particular item we've just reviewed. And of course, thanks to our ongoing Patreon supporters. Thanks very much.